Breaking news from Washington, D.C. indicates that Hunter Biden's high-paid solicitor, Abbe Lowell, might be modeling his behavior along the lines of the New York Times, other leftist media, and the FBI. Just like those august bodies avoided the realness of the Hunter Biden laptop and the evident crimes documented therein, Hunter's lawyer appears eager to avoid the reality of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's presentation and questions during her exchange Wednesday, July 19th, with IRS whistleblower Special Agent Joseph Ziegler. Lowell, Friday, filed an ethics complaint with the House directed at Greene for her actions and statements during the Ziegler conversation. But Lowell seems oblivious to what she actually said and did. He also appears to miss the dark irony of citing ethics when dealing with Hunter and Joe Biden. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and here's the story. Joe Scoffstall and Jessica Chasma write for Fox News, quote, Abbe Lowell, Hunter Biden's attorney, filed an ethics complaint Friday against Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican, after she displayed censored nude photos of the president's son at a committee hearing Wednesday. Those would be photos of Hunter that show him with an alleged prostitute, which, as we all know, seems really out of character for the president's son. Continuing, quote, Lowell demanded the Office of Congressional Ethics immediately examine Greene's actions, which he called abhorrent behavior that blatantly violates House ethics rules and standards of official conduct, in his message to the watchdog. Yeah, you also can try to wrap your head around the idea that showing the seemingly illegal activity of Lowell's client is abhorrent behavior, but of course Mr. Lowell has no problem getting paid to represent the man in the actual photos engaging in the behavior Ms. Greene showed to Special Agent Ziegler. And the irony and blindness to reality gets even more delicious. Now more than ever, the House has a duty to make loud and clear that it does not endorse, condone, or agree with her outrageous, undignified conduct and brazen violations of the standards of official conduct that do not reflect credibility on the House of Representatives, Lowell wrote in a letter which The Hill first reported. Indeed, The Hill's Michael Schnell noted the ferocious Mr. Lowell offered even more rhetoric in his letter. Quote, this political stunt by Ms. Greene will go down as a historic event unbecoming of any member of Congress and beneath the dignity of the House of Representatives, he added. But like the FBI and New York Times were with the Hunter laptop, Mr. Lowell appears eager to avoid the reality of what Ms. Greene actually and quite effectively did. In his letter/complaint, Lowell actually has the audacity to continue denying reality, or perhaps he's trying to reshape it, spewing, quote, none of her actions or statements could possibly be deemed to be part of any legitimate legislative activity, as is clear from both the content of her statements and her conduct and the forum she uses to spew her unhinged rhetoric. Sadly, one suspects that Mr. Lowell appears to have been out of the room when Ms. Greene appeared. Mr. Lowell overlooks the fact that Greene repeatedly asked Agent Ziegler if the Biden receipts and tax write-off claims appear to violate the 1910 Mann Act, which prohibits cross-state transport of females for the purposes of sex sales. As Fox News notes, quote, Ziegler, that's the agent, testified Wednesday that Hunter Biden itemized a $10,000 deduction on his 2018 tax return for a supposed golf club membership that was actually a sex club membership, and that he wrote off payments to prostitutes as business expenses. Marjorie Taylor Greene made sure to bring up that issue and double-check with Ziegler about it And he affirmed that the deduction appeared to be not for a golf club membership, but for sex solicitation. Oh, but there's nothing to see there, Mr. Lowell, right? It has nothing to do with the federal government or statutes Mr. Biden, as chief executive, might possibly enforce through his mountain of tax-paid federal agents or anything like that.
So when Hunter Biden paid for this woman to do this with him, to travel across state lines from California to Washington, D.C. on June 15th, this is a violation of the Mann Act. This was prostitution.
Now, the video of Ms. Greene's exchange with Ziegler is difficult to watch, but she does a good job repeatedly referring to statute that evidently Mr. Lowell would prefer we not see, just like the cloaking in which the pop media and FBI engaged when it came to the laptop itself. Constitutionally, one can cite problems with the Mann Act, since the baseline for the feds is supposed to be handling extradition conflicts between states should a person engaging in criminal activity in one state then travel over state lines. And the Constitution originally wasn't formulated to allow the feds to create assorted federal crimes if the activities occur over state borders. But this isn't part of their fiery debate. And the other legal minefield of Hunter's business dealings in Ukraine, well, that is also excluded from this battle about ethics. And perhaps most notable about this whole thing is the larger philosophical reality that faces us. It's actually the absurdity of an ethics complaint in Congress itself. You know, in lecture halls, I make sure students understand what the word ethics actually means. And doing that requires us to begin with the word morality. Morality is the internal awareness of what is right and wrong, good and evil. Ethics is the outward projection of one's moral code, or in other words, ethics is morals in action. It's morals among other people. As a result, we know that stealing is both immoral and unethical. It's wrong to take something from someone without his or her permission. It is wrong to force someone to pay for what you or I might command or prefer. And this reveals the big lesson, the twisted macro irony. In a political system, a system funded via taxation, people actually are talking about ethics. Seriously. The entire tax-grabbing paradigm is unethical. It's logically unsupportable, and it is a bleak, enslaving farce. And none of that can be denied, no matter how much Mr. Lowell or anyone in politics would like to deny that reality. And if Mr. Lowell complains about Ms. Greene, if his complaint actually helps us in any way here, it's to shed light on the larger absurdity of claiming that anything to do with government is ethical. Thanks for watching, one and all. Please like and subscribe. Remember, find us at Rumble where they don't censor us. And thank you to the folks at Rumble for doing such good work. Give us the thumbs up and share the videos with a lot of people, especially with students if they're interested in this sort of thing. You can find us all the time at MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org. While you're there, please visit the MRC Store and get some great items, and consider supporting the Media Research Center in its 36th year of fighting for freedom. You can also find us on TikTok, on Instagram, in Facebook, which is always busy. It's still very busy, and thank you for being there. And also on Twitter, as long as that is still the name of Twitter. On Twitter, I'm at Gard Goldsmith, and on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.